Greetings and salutations here. Jeffrey Wheatman, Senior Vice President, Cyber Risk Strategist for Black Kite. And I am here today to tell you what I think is going to happen in 2025 in the cybersecurity landscape. I believe that more than half of the Russell 3000 companies' boards of directors will add third-party or supply chain risk as a standing board agenda item. Now, why do I think this? Resilience, defined as the ability to maintain business operations no matter what happens, is increasingly becoming a focus of boards. It's becoming part of corporate governance. It is becoming part of the standard of due care, due diligence, whatever you want to say. But if organizations are not doing it, they're going to be held accountable. Right now, most organizations are focusing inward, but they need to be looking out. They need to be looking at their third parties. They need to be looking at their vendors. They need to be looking at their supply chain partners and understanding what risk exposures they have as a result of their business associations. Right now, boards are hearing about this stuff on the fly. They're hearing about stories in the press. They are going to start getting more proactive in 2025. So you CISOs out there, you directors of IT risk management, you directors of cybersecurity, your chief technology risk officers must be prepared to go in front of your board every single time they meet and talk to them. What is it you are doing to talk about supply chain risk, to talk about vendor risk, to talk about third-party risk? What are you doing to identify your points of failure? What are you doing to identify what your risk exposures are? What are you doing to prevent that, either through proactive integration, collaboration with those vendors? And what are you doing to prepare when the inevitable happens? When your partner goes down, they can't provide services for you, they can't provide product for you that you pay them for, or they lose your data. What are you going to say? And your boards want answers. They don't want technology. They want business answers. What are you doing? That is my prediction for 2025. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay secure. Wheatman out.
Hi, I'm Tim Doiron, Vice President of Marketing at Infinera. In 2025, the synergy between artificial intelligence and optical connectivity will drive significant advancements in technology, network operations, and industry collaboration. Here are three key trends to look for at the intersection of AI and optical networking. First, technology adoption. Look for accelerating commercial adoption of three related technologies to help network operators keep up with capacity demands, including 800 gig coherent pluggables with 3 nanometer DSP technology that reach 1,500 kilometers, 1.2 terabit embedded optical engines that deliver 800 gig everywhere, and expanded transmission spectrum with Super C and Super L that enable 27% more capacity per fiber. Second, standardized channel spacings. While today's FlexGrid capable optical line systems enable each channel or wavelength to be provisioned individually, doing so comes at an increased operational complexity for the network operator. But with vendors ramping 130 gigabaud 1.2 terabit engines and 120 gigabaud 800 gigabit pluggables, operators can get the best of both worlds with 150 gigahertz channel spacing. They get simplified network operations and support for an open, multi-vendor, multi-technology environment. In 2025, look for most network operators to standardize on 150 gigahertz channel spacing to seamlessly support both embedded and pluggable engines. Third, managed optical fiber networks or MOFNs. With the number of data centers expected to double in the next few years and growing capacity demands for optical transport amongst them, internet content providers are looking for ways to deliver the right transport capacity at the right time and the right cost. With MOFNs, ICPs help drive the network architecture and optical vendor selection, but they also leverage the resources and operational capabilities of the service provider. In 2025, look for a large increase in the number and variety of MOFN networks in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, and around the globe, with multi-fiber bundles, dedicated fiber pairs, and multi-tenant spectrum sharing. That's a wrap for me. Thanks for listening, and I wish you all the best in the new year.
Hi, my name is Michael Wu. I'm the president and general manager for Phison US. Phison is a storage provider that provides leading-edge network solutions and AI solutions. As we see 2024, there is a big explosion of AI that is changing people's lives. As we look into 2025, we see three main trends that's going to set the tone for the year. First, AI at the edge. In 2024, we see hyperscalers that's making several large language model advancements and making available to the public. In 2025, we see that there's going to be many companies and corporations, schools that's going to take advantage of this model. But the key thing is how to make it their own, how to customize the AI that is going to make it useful for their application. So we see that there's going to be a lot of advancement and solutions from company that make the AI secure, on-prem, and affordable. Second, large density storage drives. AI Center is powered by several graphic cards, storage drives, and networking cards. And one of the most critical elements is how to save the power and energy. So there's going to be a huge demand of large density drives that allows the most density in a single rack. Number three, customized storage. And we see that AI has driven the demand for many big companies to have their own compute, and that's working for their system. Same thing as storage. We're going to see that people are going to wanting to customize their storage. They want to work with vendors that is going to allow them to make their own DIY SSDs. So these are the three predictions that we have for 2025.
Hi, I'm Margaret Hogland, Vice President of Global Sales and Marketing for Cyos Technology. In 2025, we predict that IT generalists will take on more responsibility for the administration and management of very critical applications and databases that require 99.99% uptime or better. This will drive a need for HA and DR solutions that will empower and enable IT admins with more automation, better ease of use, and more reliable and faster disaster recovery. Thank you.
There, my name is Peter Corus. I'm the Director of Product Marketing at Startree, and I have some predictions for 2025. The real-time analytics data pipelines that we've been seeing in the past have been independent systems. You had Kafka, Flink, Pinot, visualization tools like Superset. They were all individual standalone tools. And like IKEA furniture, there was some assembly required, and we had to give you a virtual hex wrench to chain these systems back to back to back in order to get your real-time data pipelines working. I think for 2025, there is an effort to take that hex wrench out of it and to make the assembly of these much more like Lego, that they should snap together much easier. One of the ways that this has been facilitated in 2024 is when Confluent included Flink in their offering, when Red Panda included Benthos for their stream analytics. But that's still only the data pipeline. It's still not the analytical system, and it's not the visualization layer. And so I think what we're going to see now more of in 2025 is that kind of much more ready-built go-to-market for end-to-end solutions for real-time analytics. The other thing I think that we're going to be seeing is having observability built into infrastructure as an architectural forethought, as opposed to a implementation afterthought. And so, for instance, when you're going to be launching a mobile application that's goal is initially to get to 1 million or 10 million users, you can't think, well, how are we going to guarantee uptime, or how are we going to measure crash rates, or how are we going to diagnose data pipeline failures? You can't do that tooling afterwards. You have to build that resiliency into your application as you're designing and developing it. And so I think that Observability 2.0 is going to be critical. I think Observability 2.0 also by itself is going to be a tremendous amount of change. It used to be that for logs, metrics, events, and traces, you'd have different databases for each of these, and you'd have to make queries across them in some sort of federated method. Now, what companies are offering to do is to put all of these into a kind of a real-time data warehouse or real-time data observability platform. And they're looking to make queries across all of these different kinds of data types. And there's some companies that want to have all their observability data and all their business data on the same platform. So I think that the consolidation of the data layer is going to be pretty big. And for the observability use case, what we're going to see is a disaggregation of the stack, where the visualization, the data storage, and then the agents that are gathering that telemetry are going to be best of breed in each of the layers.